Hello everyone, welcome, my name is Phoenix and this is the Consumer's Guide to Filmmaking. The Backrooms, 2026, Kane Parsons, aka Kane Pixels. This film follows a man named Clark. Running a struggling furniture store, Clark also attends therapy sessions with his psychologist Mary in order to deal with his divorce. While spending the night in his store, Clark discovers that a wall downstairs is actually a doorway into an alternate dimension known as the Backrooms. Going missing while exploring it, Mary soon discovers the Backrooms for herself, and the ensuing chaos will forever change both their lives. An analog horror titan, Kane Parsons comes to direct the film adaptation for his cult hit series. In my opinion, I think Kane Parsons did some impressive things with this film, but some of it left me wanting for more. What impresses me about Kane Parsons as a director is how deliberate he was in his choice of visual style. Along with DP Jeremy Cox, these two blocked the full-screen portions of this film with an emphasis on slow movement. The very methodical tracking and perspective shots, especially in the sequence where Clark discovers the Backrooms for the first time, builds tension in such a slow and uneasy manner. Apparently it was too slow for one guy because he fucking deadass fell asleep in the theater when I saw it, so... When the film switches aspect ratio, it is commonly to transition from pristine cameras to dank-ass DV cameras. What is impressive about some of these segments is that a chunk of them were animated in Blender. Fucking Kane Parsons is a fucking wizard with that software, oh my god. I couldn't tell you what was, shot with a camera and what was Blender at times. It was really fucking impressive. It's also just cool that he was able to translate that analog horror gimmick into a major motion picture the way he did. It will really please the fans in that regard. Musically, the film is incredibly atmospheric and minimal. The pieces composed by Ido van Bremen and director Kane Parsons are little more than ambient hums. The only piece that goes beyond that is this little ethereal synth melody that comes up once or twice. But that minimalist approach to composition aided in creating that unnerving atmosphere. When Clark is exploring the Backrooms, we get little more than these deep, droning synth notes. In tandem with the weird monster noises and the deliberately slow camera movements, this world is made to feel alien and uncomfortable. Also, we get Boards of Canada at the end. That's cool. I don't mind Boards of Canada. But I think Kane Parsons' true achievement as a director was with production design. Along with the Blender portions, which again are amazingly animated, Kane's team built 2,800 square meters of backroom sets to use for the film. YouTuber Wendigoon visited the set and literally got lost exploring it all. That's absolute insanity. I'm gonna assume that most of it was used, the sets, because that would be an alarming amount of money to waste on sets. The budget for the film was around 10 milli, something like that. Also, the creatures in this film are both wild in design, but presented with a great blend of computer and practical effects. The final monster, the pirate with the peg leg, was, a tall dude. Apparently it was the same tall dude from Alien Romulus, in a costume and prosthetics. God bless practical effects. But the script by Will Sudick kinda bogs down this affair. To me, it felt like Will Sudick turned the Backrooms into a Hollywood movie that felt antithetical to Parsons' vision for the series. Granted, I haven't really seen the series outside of that first short, and Wendigoon explaining the whole series, so who am I to fucking say anything? Either way, I felt like if Parsons wrote the script, the focus would be on Mark Duplass's character, and Chiwetel Ejiofor and Renata Rensva would have been, incidental to the plot. Look, I do not dismiss what the characters of Clark and Mary do in this film, nor do I dismiss the performances by Ejiofor and Rensva. The lead performances were great, and the characters had a modicum of depth to them. Both characters, they're drawn into a mythical world and are dealing with dark pasts and trauma, that sort of shit. It's just that these arcs felt like horror movie bullshit. And I wasn't really looking for that based on what I understand of Parsons and his series. Either way, I'm glad Kane Parsons got handed a fuck ton of money to do his shtick on a bigger scale. Based on what I've seen, he's been making bank at the box office. Like, it's really cool to see all these YouTubers and content creators get into the filmmaking space and thrive and excel when given the opportunity. This sort of thing may lead to more creative voices getting bigger opportunities like this in the future, and I am all for creative voices getting a chance to shine. If you're a fan of the Backrooms series, you might get more out of this film than me, maybe. But even as someone who isn't fully into the series, I still had a good time with this. And I am feeling a 6.5 to a 7 out of 10 on this one. I think this one is closer to a 7 than a 6.5. Catch you later, guys.